Welcome to part 7 of my top 120 best albums of 2025 as I'm nearly halfway into finishing the list in Vyond style. Number 22, Love and Pony Step, Violet Pony. At first glance, Love and Pony Step looks like pure internet chaos. My Little Pony. Brostep. Discord jokes. Video game references. Memes. Hyperpop. EDM. Shoegaze. It sounds like it shouldn't work. Yet somehow, it becomes one of the most heartfelt, emotionally honest, and creatively fearless albums released in 2025. Violet Pony transforms online culture into something deeply human, using fantasy, humor, and internet nostalgia to tell a story about identity, heartbreak, friendship, self-acceptance, and learning to love yourself. It's loud. It's weird. It's deeply personal. And it's unlike anything else released this year. Number 21, Cabin in the Sky, De La Soul. More than 35 years after redefining hip-hop, De La Soul returned with one of the most heartfelt albums of their legendary career. Cabin in the Sky is more than just another studio album, it's a moving celebration of friendship, legacy, and the enduring spirit of the late Trugoy the Dove, Dave Jolicoeur. Rather than focusing solely on grief, the album celebrates the life, creativity, and positivity that made De La Soul one of the most beloved groups in hip-hop history. Warm production, thoughtful lyricism, and an incredible lineup of guest artists make this feel like both a tribute and a triumphant new chapter. It's nostalgic without becoming trapped in the past. It's emotional without becoming overwhelming. And it reminds us why De La Soul's music has remained timeless for generations. Number 20, Sankofa, Reid Vale. Already recognized as one of hip-hop's brightest young talents, Reid Vale takes a massive leap forward with Sankofa, an album filled with warmth, reflection, hope, and remarkable artistic growth. Named after the Ghanaian concept of Sankofa, meaning go back and retrieve what was left behind, the album explores how our past shapes who we become. Through heartfelt lyricism, soulful production, and rich jazz influences, Reid Vale turns personal memories into songs that feel universally relatable. Rather than dwelling on pain, Sankofa celebrates healing, family, identity, and finding beauty in life's journey. It's mature without losing youthful energy. Thoughtful without becoming heavy. And easily one of the most emotionally rewarding hip-hop albums of 2025. Number 19, Blizzard, Dove Ellis. Without interviews, social media, or a carefully crafted public image, Dove Ellis lets the music do all the talking, and it's impossible not to listen. Blizzard is one of the most remarkable debut albums of 2025, combining breathtaking vocals, poetic songwriting, and lush instrumentation into a deeply emotional experience. Drawing from indie folk, chamber pop, art rock, and orchestral influences, Ellis creates music that feels both intimate and cinematic. The album explores love, memory, loneliness, hope, and personal growth with a maturity that's astonishing for a debut. Every quiet moment feels meaningful, and every emotional crescendo lands with incredible power. Rather than relying on spectacle, Blizzard succeeds through honesty, beautiful craftsmanship, and unforgettable performances. Number 18, La Vida Era Más Corta, Milo J. At a remarkably young age, Milo J delivers one of the most emotionally resonant and culturally important albums of 2025. Rather than chasing global trends or imitating popular sounds, La Vida Era Más Corta embraces Argentina's rich musical identity while presenting it through a modern blend of hip-hop, pop, and heartfelt songwriting. The result is an album that feels deeply personal yet universally relatable. It's about growing up. Remembering where you came from. Learning to live with loss. Finding hope after heartbreak. And appreciating the people who shape your life. Milo J writes with a level of honesty and emotional maturity that's extraordinary, creating songs that connect not because they're flashy, but because they feel real. Number 17, A Paradise in the Hold, Yaz Ahmed. 10 years in the making, A Paradise in the Hold is Yaz Ahmed's most ambitious and rewarding work to date. Drawing inspiration from Bahrain's pearl diving traditions, Arabic folk music, ancient poetry, and modern jazz fusion, Ahmed crafts an album that feels both deeply rooted in history and boldly forward-thinking. Rather than treating tradition as something to preserve behind glass, she allows it to evolve naturally alongside jazz improvisation, electronic textures, orchestral arrangements, and breathtaking vocal performances. The result is one of the most immersive listening experiences of 2025. Every trumpet melody feels like a conversation. Every rhythm feels connected to generations of history. Every composition unfolds like another chapter in a larger story. Number 16, Private Music, Deftones. Nearly 30 years into their career, Deftones continue to prove that creativity doesn't have an expiration date. With Private Music, the Sacramento icons deliver one of the strongest albums of their career, an incredible blend of crushing riffs, dreamlike atmospheres, emotional vulnerability, and cinematic songwriting that feels both nostalgic and refreshingly modern. Rather than reinventing themselves, Deftones refine everything they've mastered over the years. The result is a record that captures the aggression of their early classics while embracing the beauty and atmosphere that have become their signature. Produced once again by Nick Raskulinecz, the album sounds massive, immersive, and meticulously crafted from beginning to end. Number 15, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, Hayley Williams. After decades in the spotlight and years of navigating the music industry's expectations, Hayley Williams delivers the most personal, fearless, and creatively liberated album of her career. Released as her first fully independent project, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party captures every side of Hayley, vulnerable, angry, hopeful, reflective, and unapologetically authentic. Across 18 songs, she transforms deeply personal experiences into powerful art, exploring heartbreak, healing, depression, identity, religious trauma, growing older, and finding freedom after years of carrying emotional weight. Musically, it's just as adventurous. Grunge, dream pop, shoegaze, alternative rock, synth pop, lo-fi indie. Every style feels like another chapter in one emotional journey, held together by Hayley's unmistakable voice and fearless songwriting. Number 14, Birthing, Swans. More than 4 decades into their career, Swans prove they remain one of the most uncompromising and visionary bands in music. Birthing serves as the culmination of the band's legendary Big Sound era, bringing together the crushing intensity, hypnotic repetition, spiritual atmosphere, and emotional weight that have defined their greatest work. Spanning nearly 2 hours across 7 monumental compositions, the album isn't concerned with instant gratification. Instead, it patiently builds towering sonic landscapes where moments of chaos, serenity, dread, and transcendence flow into one another. It's challenging. It's immersive. And it's absolutely unforgettable. Number 13, Sincerely, Kali Uchis. With Sincerely, Kali Uchis delivers the most personal, emotionally rich, and artistically complete album of her career. Inspired by motherhood, the loss of her own mother, and a renewed appreciation for life, the album unfolds like a series of intimate letters exploring healing, gratitude, faith, and unconditional love. Rather than chasing trends, Kali embraces timeless songwriting, lush arrangements, and breathtaking vocal performances that make every song feel deeply sincere. Wrapped in dreamy neo-soul, classic R&B, doo-wop harmonies, and elegant orchestration, Sincerely is an album that grows more beautiful with every listen. Number 12, Eusexual, FKA Twigs. After the heartbreak of Magdalene and the playful freedom of Capri Songs, FKA Twigs reaches a new artistic peak with Eusexual. Built around the concept of Eusexual, a state where the body, mind, and soul become perfectly aligned, the album explores intimacy, vulnerability, pleasure, transformation, and personal freedom through some of the most adventurous pop music released this decade. Musically, it's breathtaking. Techno, garage, ambient R&B, experimental pop, industrial textures, dreamlike atmospheres. Every song feels meticulously crafted while remaining emotionally powerful. Number 11, Cancionera, Natalia Lafourcade. With Cancionera, Natalia Lafourcade delivers one of the most beautiful and heartfelt albums of 2025, a timeless celebration of Mexican music, culture, and identity. Recorded live to analog tape alongside an 18-piece ensemble, the album radiates warmth and authenticity. Blending son jarocho, bolero, flamenco, folk, jazz, and orchestral arrangements, Natalia crafts a record that feels both deeply rooted in tradition and wonderfully contemporary. Every song feels alive. Every performance feels genuine. Every note tells a story. Number 10, Vendrán Suaves Lluvias, Silvana Estrada. With her breathtaking sophomore album, Silvana Estrada transforms grief into beauty through one of the most intimate and affecting musical experiences of 2025. Written in the wake of personal loss and produced entirely by Estrada herself, Vendrán Suaves Lluvias embraces vulnerability with remarkable honesty. Every breath, every pause, and every delicate vocal inflection feels intentional, creating an album that never forces emotion, it simply lets it exist. Drawing from Latin folk, bolero, chamber folk, and subtle orchestral arrangements, the record becomes an emotional journey from heartbreak toward acceptance, reminding us that healing doesn't happen all at once, it arrives gently, one moment at a time. Number 9, Gollywog, Billy Woods. With Gollywog, Billy Woods doesn't simply make another abstract hip-hop album, he creates an unsettling meditation on history, trauma, colonialism, identity, and survival. Rather than relying on traditional horror imagery, the album reveals the true horrors hidden within society itself. Racism, war, displacement, surveillance, and generational trauma become the monsters haunting every song. Supported by haunting production from an exceptional group of collaborators, Gollywog unfolds like an anthology of psychological horror stories, each track revealing another layer of fear, memory, and resilience. It's uncomfortable. It's thought-provoking. And it's impossible to ignore. Number 8, Through the Wall, Rochelle Jordan. With Through the Wall, Rochelle Jordan delivers a stunning blend of house, UK garage, electronic soul, and contemporary R&B that feels both timeless and refreshingly modern. Rather than chasing trends, she embraces the rich legacy of Black and queer dance music while refining her own unique artistic voice. The result is an album filled with irresistible grooves, graceful vocals, and thoughtful songwriting that celebrates confidence, intimacy, and liberation. Every song flows naturally into the next, creating the feeling of an unforgettable night out, from the excitement of stepping onto the dance floor to the peaceful calm of watching the sunrise. It's a record made for movement, but one that never sacrifices emotion or substance. Number 7, Lonely People with Power, Deafheaven. After the divisive beauty of Infinite Granite, Deafheaven return with an album that doesn't abandon any chapter of their history, it embraces all of them. Lonely People with Power fuses the blistering black metal of their early years, the dreamlike shoegaze textures they've grown into, and the emotional songwriting that has always defined the band. The result is a breathtaking album that feels both familiar and entirely new. Every crushing blast beat, shimmering guitar melody, and towering crescendo serves a purpose, creating one of the most emotionally powerful and sonically expansive metal albums of 2025. Number 6, Pain to Power, Maruha. Maruha's debut album is nothing short of astonishing. Pain to Power blends jazz, punk, post-rock, hardcore, spoken word, noise, and experimental rock into a powerful statement about the world we live in. Rather than simply expressing rage, the album explores solidarity, empathy, mental health, injustice, and resilience, creating music that feels both politically urgent and emotionally uplifting. Few albums released in 2025 sound this alive. Every performance feels spontaneous. Every crescendo feels earned. Every song leaves an impact. Number 5, Magic, Alive, McKinley Dixon. McKinley Dixon continues to push the boundaries of hip-hop with an album that feels like a novel brought to life through jazz, soul, and poetry. Magic, Alive tells the story of three young friends attempting to bring a lost companion back to life through magic, using that surreal premise to explore grief, memory, friendship, hope, and healing. The result is a concept album that's intellectually rich while remaining deeply emotional from beginning to end. With lush live instrumentation, unforgettable storytelling, and some of the year's finest production, Dixon delivers what many critics consider the strongest work of his career. Number 4, Lux, Rosalia. After the massive success of Motomami, Rosalia could have easily repeated the formula that made her one of the biggest stars in the world. Instead, she took an extraordinary creative leap. Lux is an ambitious orchestral pop masterpiece that combines classical composition, flamenco tradition, electronic experimentation, and global musical influences into one breathtaking artistic statement. Across 18 songs performed in 13 different languages, Rosalia explores spirituality, femininity, love, loss, and transformation with remarkable confidence and emotional depth. It's not simply an album. It's a cinematic, immersive journey. Bronze medal emoji, number 3, Getting Killed, Geese. Few albums this year were as fearless as Getting Killed. Rather than repeating the success of 3D Country, Geese pushed themselves even further, delivering a thrilling fusion of art rock, post-punk, classic rock, jazz, funk, psychedelia, blues, and experimental music. The result is an album that's unpredictable from beginning to end. Every song twists into unexpected places. Every performance feels alive. Every listen uncovers something new. It's chaotic, but brilliantly controlled. Silver medal emoji, number 2, Lotus, Little Simz. Following one of the most challenging chapters of her life, Little Simz returns with her most personal, fearless, and emotionally powerful album yet. Lotus chronicles betrayal, healing, self-discovery, and rebirth through extraordinary lyricism and adventurous production. Inspired by the lotus flower, which blooms beautifully after growing through mud, the album becomes a symbol of resilience and transformation. Every verse feels lived. Every emotion feels genuine. Every song pushes Simz to new artistic heights. This isn't just another great rap album. It's a defining career statement. Gold medal emoji, number 1, Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, Ethel Cain. Some albums are unforgettable. Some albums define a year. And a select few define an entire generation. Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You is one of those rare masterpieces. Serving as a heartbreaking prequel to Preacher's Daughter, Ethel Cain crafts a devastating Southern Gothic epic about first love, memory, trauma, devotion, and inevitable loss. Every song unfolds like a scene from a tragic novel, creating one of the most emotionally overwhelming listening experiences of the decade. This isn't simply music. It's literature. It's cinema. It's art. Gold medal emoji, the gold medal for Best Album of 2025 belongs to Ethel Cain.